Prajana Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki Bhagi Bhakti Mahotsav ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Bhaktivedanta Padmanabha Maharaj ki Jai, Bhaktivedanta Santa Maharaj ki Jai, Ananya Tridandi Saraswati Padagan ki Jai, Gaur ki.
So I'm sorry, suddenly two old friends appeared. First of all, there was an Indian man who had his son and daughter, and then he approached me, and we started this whole philosophical discussion, right? This was after the Artik, when I was just coming out from the temple. Then we sat there on the bench down there, and we were discussing. And after about a half an hour of that discussion, then all of a sudden Ram Shraddha rolled up with Prem Ras Prabhu.
Right.
Prem Ras from France.
Okay.
And Ram Shraddha, who lives across, whose wife is German.
I met them in Mayapur last week.
Okay. Yeah, so then they suddenly and I hadn't seen one of them for like...
You don't want to come? No, they're leaving.
No, it's late. They have to get back across the Ganga, you know. But I kind of lost track of time, and then I start thinking, well, I guess it's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, after we already said goodbye, then she came up and okay, it's happening. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
We're going to hear it, no matter what.
Why not? Give us a good reason why we should not.
We have the whole night.
On this, yes. I just want to check one thing of Srila Gurudev's, because usually on such a day, on the Vaishnava calendar, you know.
Gurudev is legend.
Oh, wait. Okay. So, Vaishnava calendar. Because I have the whole book here.
Yeah.
But,
I
you know.
have it also.
Oh, you also? On your phone, okay. Yeah. Why is it loading so slow? Oh, here it is, okay. So, today is February 4th.
So, today is...
4th, yeah, so Bhakti Pragyan, here it is. Okay. So the glories of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. And this is all coming from Srila Gurudev. There's many articles by Gurudev for this day.
So which one do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just checking right now. By His mercy for the appearance day of He kept his life in his hands. Toured the Saraswat mission in the heart of Vraj. Oh yeah, I was reading that. The heart of Vraj.
Well, first of all, Maharaj, I'd like to thank you so much for coming. I think this is the first program we're doing here.
In your room, the first one since.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, before I invited, you people for eating, taking prasada.
Right.
That is the first program.
But it was not for any katha in Kirtan like.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, wonderful.
It was a
Very
good
nice.
day. And I have very good connection with Param Gurudev. So every day I sing this Radhanath Bihari Tat Pashtakam.
You do every day.
Every day.
Oh, you'll have to tell us something about your realizations.
For the last maybe 10, 15 years.
No kidding, every day. Wow, that is heavy duty.
Yeah.
That's really fantastic.
So, yeah.
All right.
It's very nice to have all of you here today, in this day.
Yeah. All right, there's like endless articles.
Appearance day of Srila Bhakti.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to start from the very first article. That Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj glories. That's what the article is. So, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Gurun dinataranam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarane Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikai Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan iti namane Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singha Rupane Shri Srimad Bhakti Prajana Keshava iti namane Ati Martya Charitraya Swasritanam Chapalane Jiva Dukke Sadartaya Sri Nama Prema Dayane Vansha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. My Dandavat Pranams to all of our Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga. My Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis headed by our Tridandi Sannyasi Ganda. In the auspicious location in Navadvip Dham, right next to Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math, in the very powerfully auspicious transcendental room of Sri Pad Bhakti Vedanta Mahavir Maharaj.
Now it became. Because you have come, now it became.
Because you have arranged.
And also my most intimate dear friend, Sri Pad Bhakti Vedanta Shanta. Is it Santa or Shanta?
Shanta.
Shanta, yes. Shanta Maharaj is also.
No, it depends on the pronunciation.
Yeah.
But you could say Santa.
Yes,
Yeah.
but normally
Bengalis they will say Shanta, but Hindi Bhasha they will say Santa. Saint.
Yeah.
Santa. Yeah.
But there are, in the 108 names, there are both. Santa and Shanta are both different names. That's Shanta only.
Shanto means
Not Santa.
peaceful.
Okay.
Shanto.
Yeah.
And then Santa.
that's my name.
Shanto.
Yeah, Shanta.
Yes.
Shanta. Okay.
Because
Then
after he
peaceful,
got
peaceful.
after he gave me,
Mm-hmm.
he said, I always observe you to be peaceful.
Oh,
That's why,
then
yeah.
Shanto. Yes, Shanto.
Okay.
Okay.
Very auspicious. So, today is a very special day for us. And I want to make reference to the role that Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, the Lion Guru, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singha Rupane. He's Lion Guru. And his biography, which was written by our Gurudev, Acharya Keshari, this is telling how in so many, all throughout his life, how he showed this qualification, this quality of being fearless and just standing for the truth always, even since he was a child. There's so many references here. So, but for us, we're all Western-bodied people in this room. And for us, he plays a very, very significant role. What is that? He was most intimate friend of our Guru, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. He is the Diksha Guru and Sannyas Guru of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, who is our Siksha Guru. Some are, he's their Diksha Guru also. And so Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, he was very, very intimate godbrother of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. And the role that he played in this, his world conquest of bringing Mahaprabhu's mission to the whole Western world, that was sparked by Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj. Of course, our Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he was already ignited in that flame of wanting to satisfy his Guru Maharaj and follow his order to preach in the Western world and bring the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was in his life through his householder years and all. Even up to the very end when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was about to leave this world, then Prabhupada tells how he wrote his letter to his Guru Maharaj. And he said, "My dear Guru Maharaj, you have so many disciples, and some of them are brahmacharis, some of them are sannyasis. I am only a householder, and I cannot do so much service like them that are living in the mutt and all of that. So please tell me, what is your order to me? What service can I do for you?" So at that time, Srila Prabhupada was literally about 3 weeks or so before he would leave the planet. And he answered back that letter to our Prabhupada. He answered that letter, and he gave him the same instruction that he gave to him when he was their first meeting, which I believe was in 1922, in 1922 in Calcutta. And so, what was the instruction? He said, "I want that you will preach this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English language throughout the world. And if you ever get money, you should print books." So he took that on his head. Years and years later, after going through the householder Leela, businessman Leela, and so forth, and Krishna removed Yasyaham Anugranami Harishye Taddanam Shanai. Whoever I want to give my mercy to, I take away all of his wealth. So Prabhupada himself told that story to Srila Narayan Maharaj when he first left his household life there and he came to Mathura and he rented a room and so forth. So the story is that he came to Mathura and his intention was that he would now be living in Mathura. He rented a room near to the Yamuna. And but some brahmacharis saw him, and they brought the news back to Srila Narayan Maharaj, who was in the Keshavji Gaudiya Math in its fledgling days, just in the beginning phases, where they only had like three different rooms plus bathrooms in the whole building, So Srila Narayan Maharaj came there with a couple of brahmacharis to the room that Prabhupada was renting. They said, "Prabhu, what are you doing here? You cannot stay here. You are like our father. You have to come. You have to live with us." And then Prabhupada was, no, it is okay. I will be. No, you have to come. Then Srila Narayan Maharaj instructed the brahmacharis, take his things, pack them all up. And by forcibly he brought him to Keshavji Gaudiya Math. And that began the phase where we've heard Prabhupada's memories of that. We've heard Gurudev's memories of that time period. How they lived together so happily, so peacefully, such deep heart relationship, for some months he was there. And then, by and by, his Guru Maharaj came, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. And that meeting between them cemented, because Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj Param Gurudev told to him that, look, you have been given this mission by our Guru Maharaj to preach to the whole world. You cannot do it unless you take sannyas. He drove that point home completely. And then finally, although Prabhupada was reluctant, then Prabhupada, there was another godbrother in the room who was 92 years old at the time. His name was Sanatan Prabhu, just direct disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who had been a householder and a businessman, and he also now had left everything. He's living in the mutt. We have his photo. So then in that meeting, then either, I've heard it both ways, that either Prabhupada told to Param Gurudev that he told him, okay, I will take sannyas if Sanatan Prabhu takes sannyas. And I've also heard it the opposite way, that Sanatan said, all right, I will take sannyas if he takes sannyas. So either way, there was that auspicious moment, Vishwarup Mahotsav day, the same day that Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj took sannyas from Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj in Katwa. In Katwa, the same day, Vishwarup Mahotsav day. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada now accepted the renounced order. And Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj gave him the mantra, you know. Now, what's the relationship between them? Many devotees who are not knowledgeable about their relationship, they say certain things, especially in ISKCON. Oh, a person has to take sannyas from another sannyasi. So it could be any sannyasi. And they think that that's not an important factor. So Guru Dev addressed this incorrect understanding. Guru Dev addressed that. Where did he address it? In New York City, in 26 Second Avenue, when Guru Dev went there, the first and I think only time he went there, after his complete tour of Europe and America, and he was in his last stop in New York, and Gurudev stayed there for 1 week in New York. And it was arranged, actually Ramesh helped to arrange it at that time, and we stayed in one hotel, and we went to the park, Tompkins Square Park, and then Shamarani was telling Gurudev that this is where she met Prabhupada for the first time, when he was chanting under that tree, and we were standing right next to the tree, and then she requested Gurudev, because during the Gurudev's first tour, he kept on mentioning that Swamiji, he came to the West, and with a pair of kartals in a park, he began chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Gurudev mentioned it quite a number of times on his tour. So now Shamarani coaxed Gurudev, kind of urged him, oh, can you please lead kirtan? So they gave him pair kartals, and he began singing Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. And then eventually into the Maha Mantra, and then he turned it over to, I think, me. I was playing mridanga. And then we continued, but we circumambulated that tree. Then we came back to the vehicles. And this is recorded. Rasaraj Prabhu. He had the only camcorder or whatever they were called in those days, and he recorded.
It's on,
It's
on YouTube.
Yeah, I know, it's on YouTube. Not the best quality, but it's good enough. So then they came, we all drove to the 26 Second Avenue, and you know, this has a special significance for our Gurudev, because this is where Gurudev would correspond with Prabhupada. And Gurudev also sent mridangas, kartals, and so many, the sweet Mathura Pera, you know, like a couple kgs of it from India. He wanted his disciples to taste the actual genuine sweets, you know. And like that. So anyway, in that small, in like a storefront room, but ISKCON had taken it over, and it was all very clean and nice, and they had a Vyasasan, simple Vyasasan of Prabhupada. So we did Guru Puja to Prabhupada. And then we circumambulated the Prabhupada Vyasasan. Then after that, Gurudev called on three different devotees to speak. One was Nrsimha Maharaj, who took sannyas from Prabhupada, and then later got his name from Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He's left the world. That Nrsinga Maharaj.
Gaurav.
Yeah, Bhakti Gaurava Nrsinga. Yeah. And then one of them was Dayananda, who was like a temple president in the early days. And there was another one who was a kirtan singer in France for many years. I forget his name, Prabhupada disciple. And then Shamarani also was asked to speak by Gurudev. Then Gurudev spoke. So when Gurudev began his Mangalacharan, he became quite overwhelmed. That, tears started to come. He's wiping his tears. And then when he began speaking, then he said, like movie reels passing in front of my eyes, like the reels, movie reels, I am remembering. And we can only imagine what he remembered in his relationship with Srila Prabhupada. But very soon, in the very beginning of the lecture, he came to this point that he wanted to make. He says, I have come to a realization that my Guru Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj were on the same platform, same level. And then he began to speak about that topic. But he came straight to the point of what was the relationship and what was the significance of his Guru Maharaj giving sannyas to our Srila Prabhupada. And then he brought up the common misconception that it really doesn't matter who you take sannyas from. It just has to be another sannyasi like this. And then Gurudev told, and you can watch it on that video, Gurudev told, anyone who says like that, they don't know anything. And then he said, sannyas is for gopi bhav. The sannyas mantra is for gopi bhav. And then Gurudev began to say something, how Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj gave so much mercy, forcibly making him to take sannyas. And then he, actually when Prabhupada received the news that Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj had left the world, there was a letter that he received, and he was in Seattle, Washington at the time. And then Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter back to Trivikram Maharaj and Srila Vaman Maharaj. And there he also wrote a shloka. This one shloka, Vairagya Yug Bhakti Rasam Prayatnayar, which is written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to glorify Sri Sanatan Goswami. And so Yog Bhakti Rasam Prayatnayar Apayayan Mam Anabipsum Andham. So Prabhupada, he quoted part of that shloka, and then he quoted another shloka, I can't remember right now, but he combined these two shlokas together to point out and glorify how merciful was Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj. Just like in that verse, Raghunath Das Goswami is pointing out how merciful is Sanatan Goswami. He forced me to drink what? Vairagya Yug Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya. He forcibly caused me to drink the Bhakti Rasam mixed with what? Vairagya. Mixed with renunciation. Bhakti Rasa mixed with Vairagya. Apayayan mam anabipsum andham. I was unwilling, but he forced me to drink that. And what was he doing for me? Kripam buddhirayak paradukkuduki sanatanastam prabhum ashrayami. I take shelter of that Sanatan Goswami, who is always feeling the suffering for the sufferings of all others. So at that time he glorified, in his letter, he glorified Srila Param Gurudev, Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj for...
I think that other shloka goes, Vairagya Yukta Nija Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah, that's right. That was Mahaprabhu, right? Mahaprabhu. Say that again, the beginning.
Vairagya Yukta Nija Bhakti Yoga.
Yes, then? Bhakti Yogam. Yeah, I can't remember right now also. So, Prabhupada mentioned in this shloka that this personality was so merciful and he forced me to drink this nectar. So, in that way, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj actually serves a very significant activity and relationship with the whole worldwide community of Vaishnavas. Because if he had not taken sannyas, Prabhupada had not done, he would not be able to do what he did. That's what Param Gurudev made him to understand. And one time we were with Gurudev in Rup Sanatan, one of the early years, like 94, 95, for Vrajmandala Parikrama. And we were during the 10 days into the month every year during Kartik month, then it is the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. So on that day we were downstairs and there was many Westerners there, and then Gurudev called on various of us to speak about Srila Sridhar Maharaj. There were a number of us who had a lot of association with him. And then Gurudev asked us the question. He says, can you say why Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, why did he take sannyas from my Guru Maharaj and not from Param Pujapad Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj? He asked us that question. And it kind of caught us off guard a little bit, you know. Can you say? So I made my feeble attempt, something that I had heard but not verified, was that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj had he told to our Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was coming to the point where he wanted to take sannyas, because he used to come and live there in Prabhupada's house over a period of 11 years, going back and forth from Chaitanya Saraswati Math to Calcutta, and he would preach in Calcutta and like that. And Prabhupada would put him in the upper floor of his second house, and he reserved that for traveling sadhus and all of that. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj lived there over a period of 11 years.
First time I heard it.
Really? Oh my God, yeah. And they had such relationship. And you know, there's actually a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj from the famous picture, the photo where they're sitting on that red velvet Vyasasan together in Mayapur, ISKCON. And they're talking. And that whole thing was recorded, and we have the transcription of it, you know, and they're remembering so many things with each other, you know. And Prabhupada says there directly, because he's kind of introducing him. That was back in 72 or 73, something like that. I don't remember exactly the year. But it's before the Chandrodaya Mandir was fully built, you know. So then Prabhupada mentioned there that, yes, by age and by experience, he is senior to me, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, right? In another place, in a letter, Prabhupada actually said, he is also my Siksha Guru. So what to speak of the benefit that others will derive, like this. There's different evidences. But in that conversation, then he says, we had many, many discussions and intimate, you know, exchanges and discussions. He used to come, he used to stay. And it is clear, Krishna liked him to prepare me. He said those words. Krishna liked him to prepare me for his mission. So he plays a very important role. So now Gurudev is asking us, who've never met Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, we haven't met him. Some of us have met Srila Sridhar Maharaj, you know. But he's asking us, can you tell why did Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj take sannyas from Bhakti Pragyan, from my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, and not from Param Pujapad Sridhar Maharaj. So then I tried to answer by saying, well, we heard that Srila Sridhar Maharaj kind of
was a friend to the father.
he said it would be better that I don't be the person, because I have this relationship with all of your wife and your children and the family members and all of that. So it will not be so appropriate like that, you know. And that's the answer that I tried to give to Gurudev. And Gurudev said, no, that is not the reason. And so then, oh Gurudev, can you tell us what is the reason? And then Gurudev said, because my Guru Maharaj and Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj were bosom friends. And when he told us like that, we thought to ourselves, well, but he was also bosom friend with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, you know, like that. That came in our mind. But after the program ended, then Vaikanas Maharaj and a bunch of us got together and we began to discuss what was the meaning, what was Gurudev trying to indicate there. And he did quite clearly indicate. Gurudev had such a particular relationship with Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, which was quite different than the relationship he had with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, because with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, his nature, Sridhar Maharaj himself said it about his own self. I'm a backward pushing man, you know, and he always wanted to retire into the background like that. But Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj had the similar exact type of a nature as our Srila Prabhupada. And they used to write articles together. They used to discuss, you know, all the stuff that was going on in Gaudiya Math and how they're going to point out that this particular god brother has given nonsense, done this, that, you know. And so they were very fiery. And Gurudev had witnessed that relationship between them many times. He had witnessed what is the relationship between my Guru Maharaj and this great personality. Very intimate friendship, very intimate, and their natures were very similar. Lion Guru, like that, not backing down, like, you know. So I'm bringing this up because, you know, another thing Gurudev said in that assembly, he said it in a cryptic way. In my view, it was in a cryptic way. He said, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj had to take sannyas from my Guru Maharaj because it is coming down from there. In other words, what's going on in the spiritual world, the what's it called, the hierarchy, the you know, line of anugatya, the anugatya, all of that. There's an anugatya there. They both descended from there. So Gurudev was indicating in a very cryptic way that they had to have this here because it's from there. You know, so Srila Gurudev, we were very fortunate to hear directly from Srila Gurudev so many times how he would speak about his Guru Maharaj, how he would glorify him. And then Gurudev labored hard to produce this biography. And this biography is astonishing. Gurudev himself, he told, I have put everything in this biography. Everything is there. All the Siddhanta, everything is there. And, you know, Gurudev was very happy when the first English publication volumes came off the press. And Gurudev was so happy. He was in Mathura, and he was signing and giving a copy to devotees who had helped with the editing and who had helped to produce the book and all of that. Yes. And Gurudev held the book up and he was smiling, you know. Everyone should read this book. Everything is there. My Guru Maharaj, all of his life history, everything is there in that book. And so Gurudev, when he came to Russia in 2004, he came to Volgograd. And there was quite a good festival put on, devotees in a rented hall and all of that. nice facilities they arranged in Volgograd. And that year, was the year when the translation of, his Guru Maharaj's biography was translated into Russian, and now it was printed. And they presented that to Gurudev. He was so happy. He was so happy. So all the Russian devotees, they have this translation of Param Gurudev's book. And how fortunate we are. I mean, it's pretty amazing that you told the fact that you memorized by heart the Radha Vinod Bihari Tattva Astakam, and something inspired you to chant it every single day. And you've been doing it for 8 years or something, you said, right? So that is a classic. I'd like to hear some little bit for a few minutes of your understanding of the significance of that prayer, the special features of it and meaning of the shlokas and so forth. Srila Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj wrote in Sanskrit this beautiful ashtakam.
Maharaj, I think I will contaminate if I try to explain anything that you take from the book.
Okay.
I have no realization, Maharaj.
Okay.
Whatever I can say just to repeat what is there.
Okay. Yeah.
But from very beginning I have this connection with Param Gurudev.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked him so much.
Yeah.
And I wanted to honor him.
Yes.
And then, so I started to do my arati, every day.
Right.
Then I do the arati.
In the samadhi back then.
No, for the Radha.
Oh, here. Oh, yeah, okay.
Radha Vinod Bihari.
Right,
I
right.
carry with me that picture.
Oh, the big picture here.
I carry with me a smaller one.
Okay.
And then I sing the ashtakam for them
Mm-hmm.
while I do arati every day.
Oh, very nice. Nice.
Because Param Gurudeva, he revealed this Radha
Mm-hmm.
Vinod Bihari
Mm-hmm.
tattva
Mm-hmm.
in a very unprecedented way.
Yes.
This tattva is, it's unique, and it is like the essence of everything actually.
Mm-hmm.
And the topmost aspects of Radha Krishna Lila, Gaura Lila, everything is there.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the unique manifestation of the golden Krishna, the white Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
Yeah.
and he gives a blessing at the end of the ashtakam that actually I'm expecting one day maybe to get. Because after all the ashtakams, they say if you chant it regularly,
Yes.
you get this blessing.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
So thinking
Follow Shruti.
about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, I'm doing like,
Very
I
nice.
don't know for how long I have to do, but I will do.
Okay. I also want to read one. Let me see if I can find it quickly. About the preaching of Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj. It's just so amazing.
When you were saying, Mark, talking, remind me that
Yeah.
the very first meeting
Uh-huh.
of Srila Gurudev and Srila Swami Prabhupada
Mm-hmm.
in Param Gurudev's program,
Mm-hmm.
that Param Gurudev invited Swami Maharaj to come to the stage,
Yes.
and Gurudev was shocked.
Yes.
Saying, how...
Because he was brand new. He was new at that time.
Yeah, he was new.
Yes.
That's
How
what
my
he
Gurudev
sees.
is honoring this Grihastha soul and putting him to sit together. He
On the
was
stage
shocked
with
by
the
it.
sannyasis and brahmacharis.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Param Gurudev told him,
Yes.
you should serve him.
Yes.
He is my dear God brother.
Very intimate disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta
Abhay
Saraswati.
Babu,
Yeah.
and you should serve him.
He said 3 things. He said, you should carefully observe him. Carefully. You should hear from him, and you should serve him. Yeah, those are the 3 things he told him. And then just after the program was adjourned, then he approached, and Prabhupada spoke to him for the first time. Where are you from? Like this. And from the beginning, there was a special attraction between them, Just like that quotation from Srila Gurudev that from Prabhupada to Gurudev in the letters that were written, okay? And then Prabhupada expressed that from the very beginning, our relationship, just like my relationship with my Guru Maharaj, my relationship with you has always been one of transcendental love. And therefore neither of us can ever forget one another. You know, that whole amazing book of like at least 100 letters written by Srila Narayan Maharaj to our Prabhupada in the West, in New York. So we have those, and that letters from America, the letters to America or from, the letters from America.
From America.
Yeah, because he was also writing back to there.
Most of those letters were banned in Gitanaji, Pennsylvania. Gurudev sent a whole box to Sacharup Goswami, and then they left it in the cabin.
Yeah. They said all the letters got destroyed. Bogus.
But that verse I remember now, the thing. This Bhakti Bhakti Yoga. It says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripa Muriya Tamaham Prapati.
Right. Isn't that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya who wrote that?
Sounds like that.
Yeah, it's Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Say the beginning again.
That's not the same now that you were trying to remember.
It is. That there was a combination of that shloka and the shloka from Raghunath Das Goswami.
Vairagya Yukta, Nija Bhakti Yoga.
Vairagya Yukta, Nija Bhakti Yoga, Siksharkram Ekak Purushak Purana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari, Vipam Budhirya Paraduk. No, not Paraduk. Yes, yeah. So Prabhupada used the end of that in his shloka. Yeah. There's one particular, Param Gurudev was such a fearless, lion-like preacher. And in this biography, there is a mention, where is it? There is a mention of a
is it two?
There was wait. Okay, here it is. Page 200. A discussion with the communist Jyoti Baba. Do you remember that at all? Yeah, the discussion. Okay.
Smoking.
Yeah. Okay, let me find it. Okay, page 200. Here it is, okay. I particularly liked when I read this the first time. Because like Prabhupada never backed down, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj was even more like that, So here it says that in 1954, in 1951 or 1952, Paramaraja Srila Gurudev had gone to the border region of Sundarvan in Bengal before the Sri Dham Navadvip Parikrama to preach Shuddha Bhakti and also to invite faithful people to join the Parikrama and to collect provisions for the Parikrama. So one day, Sri Gurudev was taking us with him to the house of a faithful devotee when he encountered Jyoti Babu with some of his followers. Now Jyoti Babu, who later became the chief minister of Bengal, he was at that time the main chairman of the Communist Party of Bengal. And as a leader of the opposition party, he had come to investigate the condition of the flooded land in the border region. This is during the rainy season, So when he saw Sri Gurudev dressed in saffron cloth and carrying his tridanda, he stopped. And he asked in a very arrogant way, "From where are you coming?" And Sri Gurudev replied politely, "We are from Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti in Sri Navadvip Dham." Then Jyoti Babu have you come to inspect the state of the flooded area and show sympathy for the people? Is that why you've come here? Right? Then Gurudev said, Param Gurudev said, we have come to preach pure Vaishnav Dharma for the welfare, the eternal welfare of the living entities, and to collect some provisions for Sri Navadvip Dham Parikrama. Jyotir Babu said, can't you see that the lives of these people have been thrown into turmoil by the terrible flood? Their crops have been ruined, and village after village has been submerged. They are expecting help from others for food and clothing, yet you have come to beg alms from these very people? And Gurudev replied, the flood has come? He asked. The flood has come? Where is it? So far, the cigarette at your lips has not been extinguished, so where is the flood? Dear sir, this flood is not the real flood. We have come here to extinguish the fire of devastation that is afflicting the jivas birth after birth, and to protect the living beings from the real flood waters, which come at the time of the universal inundation. That's what we've come here to protect them from, not from this tiny little flood. And then he said, we have come here so that those jivas who are averse to Krishna, they may attain their natural condition of everlasting happiness. A living entity can never be happy as long as he does not adopt the principles of Dharma in his life, and as long as he does not worship Bhagavan. Atheistic life is animal life. You are going to ruin Bengal and India completely by accepting the conception of Western civilization. Then Jyoti Babu replies, we do not believe in the Vedic scriptures. We believe in hard work. Work, karma, is life. Work is God. It is because of people like you that this country has gone to hell. You people should do some work yourselves and then give instructions about work. Begging alms is the occupation of cowards. Then Gurudev replies, it is atheists like you who have caused the devastation of India. India was happier and more civilized than the other countries of the world as long as her politics were governed by Dharma and her people were faithful and religious. In ancient times, stalwarts like Hiranyakashipu, like Ravana, Duryodhana, and Kamsa, they were far greater advocates of karma than you are. But the scriptures recount how they all came to an abominable, and more recently, we have heard of Alexander the Great and Napoleon, and in modern times, champions of karma like Hitler, Mussolini, and Lenin. Have you not observed their miserable fate? There is no place in India for atheists like Charvak and others. India is the country of Sanatan Dharma. No one can vanquish this Sanatan Dharma, no matter how influential he may be. A day will come when you will not even have the opportunity to repent. When Jyotir Baba heard Gurudev's answer, he was at a loss for words. He promptly departed in a tantrum, accompanied by his followers. Sri Gurudev was a fearless speaker of the impartial truth. Before his powerful arguments, even the most proficient logicians used to bow their heads in defeat. Srila Param Gurudev ki jai. So I always like this, because our Srila Prabhupada, like we were talking, Gurudevs, they have the same nature. Prabhupada and Bhakti Prajana, they're lion gurus, okay? And as we were growing up in ISKCON from our early years, then we always saw in the Back to Godhead magazine a section that they put there called Srila Prabhupada Speaks Out. And they would have a photo there on the page showing Prabhupada expressing himself, speaking out. And there would always be, like for example, sometimes the scientists, Prabhupada would encourage his scientist disciples, like Swarup Damodar and others, to tell what is the opinion of the scientists on this particular point, And they would tell. They would act as if they are the scientists themselves. And they would speak to Prabhupada as if they were the scientists saying this. And then Prabhupada would take whatever was said by the scientists, completely rip it apart to pieces and throw it away. Prabhupada could not be defeated at all, anytime, anywhere. No one could defeat him, because he was speaking the impartial truth. So Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj, this is one little tiny example of his astonishing preaching. And, there's so much history to tell, and we don't have that much time. But, Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj and his godbrothers, when the breakup of the Gaudiya Math started to take place after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, then he gathered together with some of his very dear godbrothers. He rented one place, and he didn't even take any money. He had nothing at that time. And all the lands were being, in the courtrooms, they were being debated of who owns this, who owns that, all of that, in the Gaudiya Math. So Param Gurudev finally withdrew. This is after Ananta Vasudev revealed his true colors. And then in Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj's book, where he's talking about Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj, then he says there that at that point, once they saw that he had revealed his true colors as Ananta Vasudev, then he called his godbrother, Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj, to come. And they had a discussion with other godbrothers, and they said, now we have put our hands into wet stool. What we were supporting this person, and now that his real nature and intentions have come to light, now we are in this position, that we have become contaminated. If it would have been dry stool, it would not have been so bad, but it was wet stool. So now we have to purify ourselves. And so for doing that, then he started Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. And in the beginning, he had left, he had left the Gaudiya Math along with the other godbrothers, that Narahari Seva Vigraha was with him, and some other of the sannyasis and so forth. But he rented a place, and he didn't have any money at all. And one day, one of his because Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj was born in a very aristocratic, wealthy landowner family, very wealthy, and so Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj, from his youth, he was always dealing in money and transactions, court cases, all of these things. He was super expert in all of these things, always defending the Gaudiya Math in the courtrooms. He had such a relationship with Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that Prabhupada made him in charge of the entire Gaudiya Math. So he was the manager of all the different centers of Gaudiya Math that were now going on, based right there at Chaitanya Math, the headquarters, And so there's so many beautiful descriptions in the beginning of this book, how even the Muslims, he knew how to deal with everyone perfectly. For example, I'll give one example. Whenever he would take a boat across the Ganga, right, then all the boatmen, they would call to him, oh, Vinod Babu, come ride with us across, Why would they do that? Because when he would pay, he would not put in his hand and then count what was there. Whatever was in his pocket, a big handful of whatever, and he just gave it to them like that. So one time, I was just reading this the other day, maybe yesterday. Yeah, so some of the godbrothers, they started to complain to Prabhupada. we are working very hard to acquire these funds like this. And, but you know, Vinod Babu is just throwing it away like this, you know. So how did he answer that? How did Prabhupada answer that? Do you remember?
Yes.
He asked, how much did you used to spend in your
Per day.
Family life per day?
Per day.
And then how much he used to spend.
But what did the person answer?
Yeah.
What did that devotee answer per day? What he used to spend?
He didn't have the money.
1 paisa.
1 paisa.
It was 1 paisa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now how much you spend?
Yes.
And they say 100 or I don't know.
Yeah, 100 paisa, he said.
Yes.
Not 1 paisa. Of course, a paisa was a lot more than they could buy things in those days, you know. So, but then he said, and what did he used to spend? He used to spend 100 rupees per day. And now how much is he spending? Only 5 or 10 rupees. So who's the greater renouncer? You know, and they were defeated.
Spending more.
Yes, who has renounced more? You know. So, so he knew how to deal with everyone. And, you know, Prabhupada, I mean, Gurudev always used to tell the story of how when he was assigned that he should look after the different properties here in Mayapur, you know, and that there were so many different tenants who were living on the land, this and that. So to keep them all in line, because he used to do that for his mother's property. His father had already passed away, and when he was like practically the age of 8 or 10 years old, he was already involved in that, in dealing with the tenants and collecting the rents from them and so forth. So when he was told like that, then he said, well, I will require a horse. I will require a horse. To do that seva, I will require a horse. So they got a horse, and he rode on horseback. And whenever the people would see the tenants who were not paying up their money and their rent and so forth. And one time he also tied a tenant to the tree as an example to show to everybody else. He tied him to the tree, and a little bit, not so heavy, but a little bit of punishment, you know. So he knew how to handle everyone. You know, it's a very interesting story the first time that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj met him. Did you ever hear that story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was sitting down under the tree.
Where? Chaitanya Mat.
Chaitanya Mat.
Underneath what?
Jackfruit.
Jackfruit tree. Right. And he had a table in front of him. He had a table in front of him. Now, this is the first time Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj came to the Chaitanya Mat. It was while the festivities were going on, you know, for Navadvip Parikrama. And he saw this white-clad, he was not wearing saffron, white-clad young man, brahmachari, and he saw him sitting there with a whole line of sannyasis and brahmacharis waiting very reverently to speak with him. And what was he doing? He had his hands in his lap, and he had his legs up on the, like, you know, like this. Had his legs up on the bed, or not on the table in front of him. And he had them crossed, and he was going like this with his feet, you know.
His head back
and his head was back like this, and he had his arms like this. And then Sridhar Maharaj he's from a Brahmin family, very highly educated, everything, and he thought this is very unusual to see that there are saffron-clad even sannyasis waiting to speak with this. Who is this person? He asked. Yeah. And very reverentially folding their palms in front of him as they're speaking with him and so forth, you know. And so he asked someone and he received the answer. This is Vinod Bihari Babu. Vinod Babu. He is the manager of all the Gaudiya Mats, you know. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj watched very carefully. He watched this exchange like that.
Yes.
And it's also interesting that they wouldn't give him sannyas because every time Prabhupada want to give him sannyas, they will complain, who is going to take care of
If you give him sannyas, who will manage? He can't do that anymore. So he didn't give him. But then we come to the great story. How Gurudev says, no, he did receive sannyas from my Guru Maharaj directly. And so what was that story, you remember?
Paramatala.
Yes. And you remember what happened?
Yeah. The parikrama was coming, and
This was 19. 1925. It was that year, yeah. And by that time, Prabhupada's fearless, lion roaring preaching had defeated everyone, all the Sahajiyas and everything, Smarta Brahmanas, and so they conspired to actually kill him. That was their objective, was to kill him. So go ahead then.
You can tell Maharaj.
No, I want to hear also. You can say.
Yes. Then, so as the Prabhupada was approaching with the huge procession, parikrama, Thakurji, being taken on elephant, Sankirtan, many things. Then, so when they were reaching Paramatala market, then they start to attack from the rooftops, of the houses, throwing bricks, bottles, rocks, everything. And as everyone was, running here and there to save their lives, Param Gurudev, in a very instinctive reflect, as if he was protecting his own self, he protected Srila Prabhupada and quickly moved him inside of one house. And then told him, the only way to get out is if you exchange your clothes with me. So then you can, leave. And if anything happens, I'm ready to take it.
And so they look alike, actually.
Yeah, they had some similarity in their features.
Yeah, not much, but anyway, they're tall, we can say. But their faces are very different, I mean to say.
Oh, yeah, but still, those persons weren't that familiar with.
Of course.
Yeah. Right.
Any tall person wearing the saffron and the Tridanda sannyasis, they will be. So, and if they have seen also, they entering that house, so they would understand, okay, in that house there is that sannyasi, could be Srila Prabhupada only. So then Srila Prabhupada, he agreed to exchange clothes.
Yeah, he said, now Prabhupada, you should give me your dress, and I will exchange my white dress, that you will wear that, and then I will arrange for you to be taken safely back to Mayapur, like that. And so he risked his life, because if they would have seen him or caught him like that, then there would be a big problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So
finally both was safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another devotee, I forget his name, another devotee, disciple of Prabhupada, dressed himself in very ordinary dress with a hookah, and he went and reported this whole thing to the police station, and then they were urging that these persons should be taken to prison, or they should go through persecuted, go through a court case, this, that. And Prabhupada answered, he said, no, they have done a very big favor for us, because now in all the newspapers throughout India, on the headlines of the newspapers is the word Gaudiya Mat and Mayapur Navadvip, and it has gone everywhere, and everyone has become very favorable to us. We could not achieve this by spending, thousands of rupees we would have to spend to achieve this free advertisement.
I think the same thing happened with our Prabhupada. Something like that. They were giving a negative report in the newspaper, and people went to Prabhupada.
Yeah,
Prabhupada, look at what is happening. And Prabhupada said, oh, it's on the newspapers. This is advertisement.
actually, what I remember is that incident where they brought this to Prabhupada's attention was about the kidnapping of the devotees and the what's it called, they're like brainwashing, and then they had this guy named Ted Patrick, remember?
Ted Patrick, that black guy.
Yeah. and they and this is going everywhere, and they were saying to Srila Prabhupada, they were saying, oh Prabhupada, this is what this person is doing, and he's arguing against our movement, this and that. Prabhupada remarked about Ted Patrick. He said, no, but he is always saying the name of Krishna, 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 so he will be delivered, Yeah, he was kidnapping the devotees, and in America, they had these.
That was what he was.
They had deprogramming, and they had a particular law, which if they could bring to court, even if the person's like an adult in his 30s, they still had a particular law that if the family members could prove that he was gone off of his rocker, then they had conservatorship, it was called, a conservatorship paper. And they falsely got those conservatorship papers against devotees. So Srila Prabhupada was told like that. But he also responded in that way, that this is going nationwide, and then Hare Krishna is being heard more and more, like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so, and Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, he also is named Kriti Ratna. Kriti Ratna means the jewel of performers. Kriti means those who can perform very wonderful service and wonderful activities. Kriti Ratna. And why did he get that name? Because he did so many extraordinary services to Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati that none of the others could do.
Mm.
You know that story about the Muslim graves. I forget exactly where the land was. It was somewhere by
the Yoga Pit, just on the side.
between Yoga Pit and the Srivasangan, I think it was there. And in order for them to obtain in order for them to obtain for them to legally ward off the attacks of the Muslims and so forth, he got this incredible idea that we will just take away all their graves, because they were trying to say that land belongs to them because they have their Muslim graves there, So what did Vinod Bihari do? At night, he brought all of the Mat Vasis there, and they dug out all the graves, threw it into the Ganga, and then they planted plants and seeds and trees and stuff right around that same exact area. Grown trees, yeah. And plants also, They made it look like a regular garden. And so the next day, the Muslims tried to accuse them of ruining their gravesite. And when the police and the people came to examine, they said, "What are you talking about? This is old here. There's no graves here, So he won on that basis. Yeah.
I like to say that when he's riding his horse with a sword in hand, and he looks like Kalki Avatar. He's not like the humble Gauriya Mat, sannyas or brahmachari. He's like Kalki Avatar. Completely empowered to, just...
One of your god brothers, his name is Kalalapati. Kalalapati. Pati.
Kalalapati.
Yeah, that's one of the first black devotee, Prabhupada disciple.
Okay.
Prabhupada stayed with him for about 4 months.
Where?
In New York.
In the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning.
Okay.
Him, the people who were there, Sasarup, what is his name? The one in...
High Griva?
No, Mukunda.
Okay.
Mukunda,
yeah.
They were in the same group.
I see.
So he told me in Belize, and he said, when Prabhupada was staying with them, he did everything. Though he was in their place for 4 months, he was able to, preach, give every aspect of himself to the devotees, even though he was not, having any temple at that time. He would go even to the place where how do you call it, the gay clubs, and then he would be preaching there. And then he was saying it was fantastic, the way he did it. And then even when he got 26nd Avenue, he makes the club Germans and he put it in a bowl. But after that, he will wash the bowls himself, everything. And then sometimes he will be in line to take bath. Anyway. So anyway, another thing with Srila, why is it that his godbrothers left him?
Bhakti Prajana Keshava.
Yes, some of them.
Some of them.
Yes, why did they leave? Because he was being very compassionate to them, and he brought most of them together. But some of them, especially the sannyasis, they started leaving, and then only a few were left with him. So do you know anything about that?
No.
Because it was a waste of so many talented, and great person to be together. Srila Bhakti Madhava Goswami Maharaj, he told, we should not be all together. All of us can open temples and start new missions. If we are together, we are just, blocking each other's, things.
That one is true. Yeah. Because if our Prabhupada, if there was just one unit of Gaudiya Math, he wouldn't have got a chance to come to the West.
Yeah.
Because he would have been a younger devotee. So they would want to give it to somebody who is more like sannyas at that time. So, it's true. But I heard also that because when Srila Bhakti Pragya, our Param Guru, had his disciples, he started confining in Guru Dev, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj. He was confining in them more.
No, but that was much later.
It was much later.
That he was already in the Devanagoria Math after a long time.
But many of them were with him also.
Not in Devanagoria Math. They rented
They had already left.
They rented a house. It's nearby. And then after when they decided to separate, then Param Gurudev, he got this land. Also, the land of this Chaitanya Saraswati Math was belonging to Param Gurudev.
Really?
He gave to Srila Maharaj.
Yeah.
For him to make his.
That's very interesting.
Here, in part 4 of this book, there's a little section where Gurudev is describing his pure character. That's the title of this chapter. And the first section is telling about a hint of his internal identity. Are those windows open?
Yeah,
I'm getting some, it's too much. I'll start coughing. So, I'll read that section.
Mother, if you can go around and close.
So, this is one of my favorite parts when I first read this book. This stands out in my mind and heart. So, the title is A Hint of His Internal Identity. And Gurudev begins by describing that at Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math in Sridham Navadvip, fresh construction work was in progress on the grand temple. So this is when they were just starting to build the temple. And it was replete with 9 domes. And in the altar room, the Garbha Mandir, a platform was being prepared for the deities. Then Paramaraja Srila Gurudev came into the Garbha Mandir to decide on the shape of the altar and also the number and color of its steps. So the same altar that we see now, I don't know, maybe it's changed over the years, but at that time he was describing, this is how it should be. And our Gurudev was standing with him at that time. And yes, so Paramaraja Srila Gurudev came into the Garbha Mandir to decide on the shape of the altar and also the number and the color of its steps. Then Sripad Bhaktivedanta Muni Maharaj and I, the author, we were with him. So Srila Gurudev surveyed the area, decided on the length, on the width and the height of the altar, and then he became immersed in thought. And after a while he turned to us and he said, there will be 3 steps below the altar. The highest step will be blue color. The second step, yellow. And the bottom step will be Aruna Varna, the reddish pink color at dawn. Right? So blue, yellow, and Aruna Varna, reddish pink color. Then Sripad Muni Maharaj asked, why should it be so? Then Srila Gurudev replied, the highest step will symbolize the sapphire-like luster of Brajendra Nandan Sri Krishna. The second step will represent the golden radiance of Srimati Radhika, the crest jewel of Krishna's sweet hearts. And then after he said this, he remained silent for a few moments. And then, assuming an extremely grave countenance, he continued, the third step will be the color of a Saki, which is here referring to a Manjari. The color who brings all kinds of delights, a Saki who brings all kinds of delight, Vinod, to Yugal Kishore, the divine youthful couple. She is depicted by Aruna Varna. And as he was speaking, his voice faltered, his throat choked, and he became completely motionless. Seeing his extraordinary bhav, we were both struck with wonder. At that time, we could not understand anything, nor could we muster up the courage to ask him. But after he entered a Prakat Lila, the unmanifest pastimes, we realized the meaning of that hint. The lowest step symbolizes Sri Vinod Manjari, Sri Jugal Kishore's eternally playful maidservant. Srila Gurudev had given a hint of his own Siddhadeha, his eternal spiritual form, in a very hidden way. It was around that same time that I inquired from him in private that did your Gurudev reveal the identity of the Siddhadeha of any of his disciples? Then solemnly, Srila Gurudev replied, he has certainly done so. Srila Prabhupada has given the identity of the Siddhadeha and instructions in the method of bhajan pranali, to some of his qualified disciples. Otherwise, the Sri Rupanuga line would come to an end. He also mercifully gave this pranali to me. I again asked, will you bestow your mercy and reveal the name of your Siddha Deha? And Srila Gurudev replied, not just now. At the appropriate time, it will be disclosed. That's the end of that. Do you remember reading this? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. One thing that is very important, and it takes up a large space in this book, is the book that Param Gurudev wrote regarding Mayavadism. Yeah. Which means, what does the title indicate? It means the life history of Mayavadism. So, it's very extraordinary how Param Gurudev collected together. There's a section that describes how he collected from certain Buddhist monasteries and things like that, and proved that there were actually 3 different Buddhas. More prominently, 2 different Buddhas. So,
that research is like remarkable.
Yeah.
He digged very, very deep.
Yeah.
Also in the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas as well.
Right.
Comparing.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Gurudev used that to write his, when there were some
Beyond Nirvana?
Yes.
Is the same book, but
Yeah.
the title is different.
Yeah.
Same book.
Actually, it was edited by Buddhara Prabhu, and at that particular time, there was a popularity in the West, starting in bookshops and here and there towards Buddhism.
Yes.
So he suggested that for the English version, we should name it
Beyond Nirvana.
Beyond Nirvana. And at that time they had that rock group named Nirvana and this and that, So the word Nirvana was known to the public,
Yes.
And so now they would be able to read Beyond Nirvana. What's beyond that, So, the way that he wrote the book and the research that he did and how he proved it unequivocally, that the real Buddha was the Vishnu Buddha, and the Shakya Singha Buddha was the second one who actually spread Mayavad everywhere in the name of covered Buddhism, like that.
Nihilistic.
Yeah.
Nihilism.
So Param Gurudev was a very deep scholar of Vedanta Sutra.
There is also the famous debate with the Nimbarka's disciples, that he took them to court. The Nimbarka.
Yeah. Can you tell? I don't remember. Yeah.
They have the followers of Nimbarkacharya. They have they have criticized Param Gurudev, something that he wrote. I forgot now exactly what was that. And then
something about the name Nimbarka and Nimbaditya, was it?
No. Then Param Gurudev, he said, I will prove even that there is no such person called Nimbarka.
Yeah.
And then I will disprove everything that you are saying. And then they told, okay, we'll take you to court.
Right.
But then the lawyers advised him, you don't know who you're dealing with. This is not Bihari, this is Keshava Maharaj. He's the most expert in court cases.
Yes.
You're gonna lose it. So they just gave up. But the proper issue, the particular issue, I forgot exactly what was what he was accusing Param Gurudev of. I forgot. But this is there.
Yeah.
This is there.
Yeah. He is the only personality that revealed that the name Nimbaditya was the correct name.
Yes.
But
this book that he wrote is like mandatory, must read one.
Yeah.
Because it's all the historical foundation for Shankaracharya's preaching and the 4 Sampradayas. Everything is there. And they are, it's a fantastic book.
So, just one little more. The next thing that follows, what we just read, is a section entitled The Inferiority of Direct Perception. So now we can listen to this patiently and we can understand how he puts forward his philosophical points. This is a very wonderful example. So, Once Paramaraja Srila Gurudev was returning to Sridham Navadvip from the Keshava Gaudiya Mutt by train. So 4 or 5 brahmacharis, including me, Gurudev, the author, we were all sitting with him in a reserved compartment when the train pulled out of Mathura's junction. A railway magistrate, accompanied by a few soldiers, came to check one compartment. Then, having done so, he sat down in a vacant seat right next to Srila Gurudev. Who was it? It was the railway magistrate who was accompanied by a few soldiers. So then he was checking, and then he sat right down next to Srila Gurudev, and he immediately asked to Srila Gurudev, he said, Mahatma Ji, where are you coming from? Then Guruji replied, we have just come from Mathura. We have an ashram called Keshava Gaudiya Mutt opposite the district hospital. Then the magistrate said, and where are you going? And Guruji said, we are going to our headquarters in Sridham Navadvip. Then the magistrate said, what is the aim of your organization? Then Guruji said, we preach pure Sanatan Dharma throughout the world. Specifically following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we preach and we practice Harinam Samkirtan and Shuddha Bhakti as described in Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures.
Interesting that he included through all the world.
Yes,
At that time.
yes.
That time.
Yeah, because some disciples were sent by Bhaktisiddhanta
To Germany, to England.
And England. So, and then he continued, Guruji continued, the only aim of our organization is to attract the living entities to this auspicious path. Now the magistrate said, what do you mean by bhakti? Then Guruji answered, the creator and the conductor of the universe is the one supremely merciful, all-powerful truth. This ultimate truth is known as Ishvara, as Paramatma, or as Bhagavan. Although we are all his parts and his servants, we have forgotten this. And we have thus been subjected to the threefold miseries and various species of life in this material world since time immemorial. Without the mercy of Bhagavan, we cannot be released from the bondage of material existence. Bhakti means to observe the injunctions described in the scriptures for the sake of pleasing Bhagavan. Then the magistrate said, you people believe in God, but I do not believe in the existence of any God. I do not put any faith in anything which does not appear before these eyes. Is Bhagavan visible to these eyes? Guruji said, although you speak like this, you are obliged to accept the existence of many things that you cannot see. Magistrate said, oh, you may say that, but nevertheless, the fact is that I have no faith in anything I cannot see directly with my eyes. Then Guruji said, this is not true. That is not true. Are your mother and father still alive? Magistrate says, yes, they are still living. Guruji, can you say for certain that the person you call father is actually your genuine father? And if so, then what evidence is there? Is it visible to your own eyes that he is the man who impregnated your mother when she conceived you? Now, when the honorable magistrate heard this question, he became embarrassed and he could not answer. Then Guruji said, no, you did not witness this incident which occurred prior to your birth, so you do have faith in the unseen. You accept with confidence that he is your father, just on the word of your mother and your family members. The magistrate said, what you have said is absolutely correct. I have come to know the identity of my father by putting faith in the words of my mother and my family members. Then Guruji said, in the same way, all the scriptures are like a mother in the sense that they are authoritative evidence. They include the Vedas, which are not of human origin, and literatures such as the Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Ramayana, which support the Vedic version. They say repeatedly that the creator and director of the universe is Ishwara, or God. He is referred to as Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. If you can put your faith in so many different fault-ridden textbooks, or in your own defective and limited sense perception, then why not put faith in the Vedas and other authoritative scriptures, which are beyond human origin, devoid of all kinds of defects, and not subject to faults such as illusion and negligence. The Vedic scriptures are even more reliable and trustworthy than your mother. Then he went on. In the Vedas it is stated, Yatova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayant yabhisamvishanti, tad vigyasasva tad brahma, from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Translation: one should inquire about that Brahma from whom all living entities emanate, who maintains their existence and into whom they all ultimately enter. And furthermore, in Brahma Sutra, it is said, Janmadyasya yataha, that Brahma is he from whom the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe arises. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 8, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has also said, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of both mundane and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this well engage in bhajan of me with transcendental emotion in their hearts. The Vedic scriptures are the unerring illuminator of the supreme truth. These literatures are not created by any human being of limited intelligence. From time immemorial, Manu and all the great sages, headed by Narad, Vyas and Valmiki, they have tested and they have realized the validity of this fact. Highly intelligent people in acharyas such as Sri Shankaracharya, Sri Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they have also acknowledged the evidence presented in the Vedic scriptures, and they have accepted the existence of God. Therefore, it is quite appropriate and in your own best interest to accept this conclusion. Then the magistrate responded, You have opened my eyes. I understand that I have been quite wrong up till now. In the meantime, the train reached Agra cantonment. He touched Guruji's lotus feet with great faith and said, I have to get off here, but in the future I will visit Sri Keshavji Gaudiya Math.
Then it took almost 2 hours, this conversation.
And other passengers had sat down around us, eager to hear the magistrate's conversation with Guruji. They were truly impressed by the exchange, and they went on discussing the subject of Dharma with Guruji for the rest of the journey. Gaur Premanande.
This is interesting, especially if you meet in the train.
Yeah.
If you meet people of that. I was going from Delhi to not Kanyakumari, the middle one, Bangalore. Not knowing where I was, the man there is a general, and he had his own army, commander, had his own army, and the whole, that thing was, I was the only person that was, so, and I was sleeping. The general was sleeping here, I was sleeping here. So, yes. So, these people will come and, I said, who are you? I didn't say I was in my mind. But then he sat me down and he started questioning me. Believe it or not.
The general.
The general. And for the rest of the journey from, all the way from,
Long journey.
yes,
A 48-hour journey.
yes. We were discussing, and all his people, the other soldiers, some were colonels, and they came and sat down. And when we reached,
Wow.
when we reached Bangalore, he said, no, he gave me his number. He said, you should, he had his your son, and he said, you should come. And, I will introduce you to people. But, sometimes after that, he was calling me all the time.
Wow.
Yes, I was in...
How many years ago was that?
This was about 5 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he was calling me.
Huh.
And then from there, we lost touch. And I said, wow, this is... Now, as this is being said,
Yeah.
it is true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I have somebody...
Who's calling you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to read one more thing.
Okay, Kanyakumari, you go ahead.
Srila Bhakti Prajana Keshava Maharaj's beautiful composition of the Mangalartik song.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, and Gurudev also gives some exposition on this. Let me just find the page.
Which number?
I'm just looking. Yeah, Mangalartik song, 358 in this book. The title is part 7, seventh part, Srila Gurudev and Vaishnava literature, and so it's talking about all the different songs and things that he wrote.
Three basically, no? 3 songs.
Well, here it says Mangalartik song, Srila Prabhupada Artik song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not in our songbook. I looked for it the other day. I couldn't find it. And then Sri Tulsi Parikrama and Artik, that's he wrote. Chaitanya Panjika, Mayapur Panjika, of all the dates and calendars. And then statements regarding Sri Gaudiya Patrika. So,
and Viharita Twashtakam 4.
Yeah. Okay, so Mangalartik on page 358. Let me just get there.
It's interesting, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Why you find the page.
Yeah.
Prabhupada, he composed the Mangalarati to give us more access to this, to the Nishanta Lila time.
Yes.
Instead of just singing for Gaur Gadadhar and all these things.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, in the Tulsi Puja in the evening parikrama, he said the opposite. Narottam Das Thakur's song is too much, too confidential. So let me do something more, simple for the people.
Yeah. It's not written by Narottam Das Thakur, the other Tulsi song.
No.
It's an unknown author who wrote the other Tulsi song. The one that Prabhupada.
Sorry, not Narottam.
Not Narottam, yeah.
Unknown
author.
Achha.
But he says at the end of the song, this Krishna Das.
Who this Krishna Das is? Shamananda Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
He also wrote that Jai Radha Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
same.
Oh, okay.
Dina Krishna Das.
Kohi, yeah. Nam Sankirtan, right.
Shamananda Prabhu.
So,
okay.
You are saying he wrote that because he said the other one was too much, too high?
Too high.
Well,
The
Gurudev...
one we sing in ISKCON is too high.
Yes.
Yeah, because Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Radha Krishna Seva Pabo E Abhilasi. So in the beginning of Param Gurudev's song, he also refers to how that person will become the servant of Radha and Krishna, right? But then he's talking about Mayapur and how I want to roll in the dust of the dham of Mayapur and so forth, and like that. So he made it more general. So let me read what Gurudev is saying about this song before he introduces the song. So he says, we stated earlier that our most revered Srila Gurupada Padma was a Rasik poet, as well as a self-realized philosopher. I, the author, I shall now present some verses from his Mangal Artik song by which we can easily understand how rasik a poet he really was. In this song he has described Shri Shri Radha Krishna's Nishanta Leela, their pastime at the end of night, in a confidential way. Ordinary sadhaks cannot imbibe these profound emotions into their hearts. Only some elevated Raganuga Vaishnavas can understand these meanings. The eternal pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna have been divided into 8 periods, Ashtakali Leela, so that the Raganuga sadhaks can remember and contemplate them. Here are the 8. Nishanta Leela, the end of night, Pratak, dawn, Purvan, morning, Madhyan, midday, Aparana, early afternoon, Shayam, evening, Pradosha, the first part of the night, and the 8th one, Madhya Ratri Leela, pastimes in the middle of the night. So these are the 8 time periods.
Bhakti.
So Mangal Arti is connected with Nishanta Leela, the pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Jugal that take place in the last part of the night before dawn. Descriptions of Nishanta Leela are found in Sri Sanat Kumar Samhita, in Padma Purana, the Patalakanda of the Padma Purana, and in the books of the Goswamis. Srila Rupa Goswami has described these 8-fold pastimes in a condensed form, while Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has described them in detail in his Govinda Lilamrita, and as has Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Sri Krishna Bhavanamrita. So here we shall give a very brief overview of Nishanta Leela. So Sri Sri Radha Krishna Jugal are tired after their midnight pastimes, and they are sleeping in a charming kunja or a forest bower. What painting has described this?
That's it.
In the morning time. Because looking through the leaves in the background are the faces and the eyes of the manjaris. So, yes. So some special Sakhis, carrying in their hands the articles and ingredients required for their service at that time, they are waiting for Sri Jugal Kishore to wake up. The cool and gentle early morning breeze, kissing each and every flower, has become intoxicated with their fragrance and is now moving unsteadily. Buzzing bumblebees wake up quickly and roam from flower to flower, also kissing them. The whole atmosphere of Vrindavan is becoming enchanted by the aroma of these blossoming flowers. Sri Vrinda Devi becomes worried when she sees that Jugal Kishore are still sleeping. Oh, the sun is just about to rise now, and this couple is still sleeping, happily bound to each other in tight embrace. Seeing this, she becomes worried and orders Vrindavan's birds, such as the shuk, sari, the male and female parrots, the cuckoos, the peacocks, and the papihas. Wake them up with your sweet songs, otherwise they will be put into embarrassment when everyone else wakes up. So as soon as the birds hear Sri Vrinda Devi's orders, they all sing in their sweet voices about the divine couple Sri Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes, and they begin to wake them up. Meanwhile, some of the Pran Preshta Sakhis become enchanted while peering through a small opening in the bushes of the kunja. In their jubilation upon seeing the incomparable lustrous beauty of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, they begin to perform arti with their eyes. And although the divine couple have been awakened by the sweet chirping of the birds, they do not want to get up from their bed for fear of losing the happiness of their deep embrace. At last, on the request of the male and female parrots, they sit up. Then Svadhin Bhartrika, Srimati Radhika, requests her dearmost Sri Krishna to rearrange her garments and ornaments, and dear Lalita Krishna complies with her request. So the Sakis then enter the kunja. They approach the divine couple, sweetly conversing, ras alap. They begin their respective services, and suddenly the female monkey Kakati loudly calls out, Jatila! Upon hearing this, Sri Radha Krishna become anxious due to the mellow of transcendental fear and longing, and they return to their respective homes and they sleep for some time. So Rupa Goswami's condensed verse is as follows. This is his condensed verse on all of this. Ratyante trashta vrinderita bahu viravair bodhito kirashari padyair hridyar apisukashaya nadi uttito to sakibi drishto hrishto tada tvoditarati lalito kakati gi shashanko Radha Krishno Satrishno api nija nija dam nyapta talpo smarami. Many different Vaishnavacharyas in the Sri Gaudiya Sampradaya have written Mangalartik songs of Sri Sri Radha Krishna Jugal. However, my most worshipful Srila Gurudev's Mangal Artik has its own unprecedented and unique speciality. By singing this Mangal Artik, one is infused with the moods of Sri Sri Radha Krishna's Nishanta Lila in a way which cannot be found anywhere else. The song goes as follows, right? Mangala Shri Guru Gaura, Mangala Murati, Mangala Shri Radha Krishna Jugala Piriti. All glories to the auspicious forms of Shri Guru and Shri Gaur Sundar, and all glories to Shri Shri Radha Krishna's auspicious amorous love. Mangala Nishanta Lila, Mangala Udaye, Mangala Aroti Jage, Bhakata Hridaye. All glories to their auspicious Nishanta Lila, which heralds the end of night, and to their auspicious awakening, which brings auspiciousness to all. Glories to Mangal Artik, which awakens in the devotees' hearts. Tomara nidrai jiva nidrita dharai tava jagarane vishva jagarita hoy. While you sleep, the jivas lie sleeping deep in their ignorance, but upon your rising, the whole world awakens. And then in parentheses, if you manifest in their hearts, then all tattva and all siddhanta will be revealed to them. Shubha drishti karo prabhu jagatera prati jaguka hriday mor sumangala rati. Please bestow your kind glance upon the world and awaken in my heart that most auspicious rati. Mayura shukadi sari kata pikaraj mangala jagara hetu koriche viraj. The peacocks, parrots, and cuckoos all exist solely to sing for your auspicious awakening. Sumadhura dhvani kari jata shaki gan mangala shravani baje madhura kujan. Sitting in the branches of the trees, all the birds sing their supremely sweet morning melodies, which resound throughout the forest. Those sweet, soft, auspicious sounds grace every one. Kusumita Saravari Kamala Hilola Mangala Saurabhava He Pavana Kalola. Varieties of flowers with lotuses in the center. They fill the pond and they sway with the waves. Breezes carry auspicious aromas of pure delight and joy everywhere. Janjaras Kangsharaganta Shanka Karatal Mangala Mridanga Baje Paramarasa. Large cymbals, gongs, bells, conches, karatals, and auspicious mridangas play the supreme rasa. Mangala Aroti Kare Bakatera Gan Abhaga Keshava Kore Anama Samkirtan. Performing Mangal Arati in the company of devotees, Sri Keshava Das sings Nam Samkirtan. So here Gurudev now, for one page, he expounds on this, and then we're we're done at the end. No, actually it goes on for 2 pages.
Jiva.
Yeah, it's very long. No, we won't read the whole thing, but we'll read a little bit. Gurudev is telling here how to understand this song. He's interpreting it and giving so much more. He's filling in for most of the devotees who really can't fully appreciate the Ashtakali Leela and all these descriptions. So Gurudev begins with discussing that the jiva is constitutionally a servant of the Supreme Lord. So unfortunately, the jiva who has fallen into this illusory world, being averse to Bhagavan since time immemorial, is burnt by the threefold miseries in the cycle of repeated birth and death. Only by great fortune does the jiva take shelter at the lotus feet of a Sadguru and follow the path of pure bhakti. At that time he realizes that Sri Gurudev, Sri Gaur Sundar, and Sri Sri Radhakrishna Jugal are the embodiment of auspiciousness for the whole world. The ultimate goal of the living entity is to attain prem for the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radhakrishna. The life of that person in whose heart prem for them has arisen is actually successful. This condition is the ultimate good fortune of all living entities. And by the mercy of the all-auspicious Bhagavan and his devotee, when a practitioner of bhakti goes on performing pure bhakti, he gradually crosses successive stages such as Shraddha, Nishtha, Ruchi, and Asakti. And at this point, Shuddha Sattva, which is the combined essence of the Ladini and Samvit aspects of the Swarup Shakti, automatically manifests in the heart. Then that fortunate sadhak's pure intrinsic spiritual form, name, mood, and other aspects are also revealed in his heart. And by the association of devotees who are tattva gya, well versed in the conclusions of scripture, and who are rasika, he is naturally attracted to perform Nam Kirtan with great feeling and to remember Ashtakali Leela. Only in the heart of a living entity who has received such good fortune is Mangal Nishanta Leela manifested. The same love-laden Mangal Artik that the Priya Narma Sakis perform in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan during Sri Sri Radhakrishna Jugal's Nishanta Leela is specifically bestowed upon the heart of such a sadhak. This auspicious rati, it does not manifest without the mercy of Sri Sri Radhakrishna or their associates. And until this auspicious rati is manifested, the transcendental Mangalartik will not manifest itself. Therefore, the bhakti sadhak prays piteously in great distress to receive such good fortune. This prayer causes the auspicious artik of Sri Sri Radhakrishna Jugal to manifest in the heart of the Raganuga sadhak. Losing external consciousness of his body and in this world, he sees with his eternal form Mayura Shukadi Sadi Katapikaraj Mangala Jagara Hetu Koriche Viraj. Dawn is quickly approaching in some pleasure grove, such as Sanket, Sri Sri Radhakrishna Jugal are still asleep and locked in each other's embrace. And afraid that everyone will soon wake up, Vrinda Devi inspires the birds, such as the peacocks, male and female parrots, cuckoos, and papiha, to awaken the divine couple. All the birds in the water and on the land start calling in their sweet voices. The description of this pastime in Sri Govinda Lilamrita is most heart-touching. Here's the quote from the first chapter of Govinda Lilamrita. Draksha susarya karake shukira jagu pikibish chapika rasale pilo kapota priyake mayura latasu bringa bhuvi tamrachuda. This means that the female parrots on the grapevines, the male parrots on the pomegranate trees, the cuckoos on the branches of the mango trees, the male and female pigeons in the pilu trees, the male and female peacocks in the kadamba trees, the male and female bumblebees on the creepers, and the roosters on the ground. They are all singing sweetly. So it goes for, a few more paragraphs. But I think we'll, and the devotees themselves can look it up on your own, and you can read that. So this is,
that long.
yeah, but now it's time.
It's late.
Yeah. So this has been a very wonderful opportunity to hear on the appearance day of Param Gurudev some of his glories. But in order to understand his glories fully, you will all have to read this book. This book right here called Acharya Keshari. Okay, Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. You know, so in this way, he has given us our lifestyle, just as Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given us songs that we sing every day in our deity worship, Yashamati Nandan, and Shri Radha Madhava, the Artik song in the evening for Gaur Artik, and then the Radha Krishna Jugal Artik song, and so many other songs. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has laid out the pattern for the devotees' spiritual lives, how they should meditate and learn these songs and sing them loudly during the artiks and so forth, you know. So Param Gurudev has given especially this Mangal Artik song, and as we were mentioning, the Tulsi song. And then on occasion, we also sing the Prabhupada Artik song, which is written by him. So, and we heard today about the poetry that he also wrote in the Tattva Astakam, Radha Vinod Bihari Tattva Astakam, and also the book that he wrote, Mayavadi Ki Jivani, which is now known as Beyond Nirvana. And some other few topics came in. We saw how fearlessly he preaches, and even to a complete atheist person, how he explains to them in such a powerful way that person says, yes, now I'm no longer an atheist, I'm convinced. You know, so we made some little effort, and I'm very happy that Maharaj invited us to his room.
Yes, and Maharaj, maybe you can continue tomorrow also.
Maybe. It's not impossible.
We have also the approach of Srila Prabhupada, we have Puja as well.
Yeah. I would be more inclined, maybe, but tomorrow I will be reading a lot about Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and finding specific quotes that I'll be reading on Friday, you know, locating, because there's so much from him, you know, and I want to do justice to him, because it's not a long program there, and so whatever time I'm given.
Make it long.
Huh?
We can make it long, it's up to you.
I don't know about that, you know.
I mean, who is going to take Prajana at 7 p.m.? Tell me.
Actually, Prasadam is scheduled, I think, at 8 p.m.
7:15, they say.
There's a Artik before that.
6:15 to 7:15.
Is it? 6:15 to 7:15?
It won't take 45 minutes.
No.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, so anyway, you know, the topics of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he is our life and soul, just as he is the life and soul of all of our Saraswat Gaudiya line. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he is the personality who we owe everything to. Because if he did not train his disciples and inspire his disciples and send his disciples overseas and give the order to our Srila Prabhupada, we would never know anything if it was not for him. So in Srila Prabhupada's, you know, song on the Jaladuta, he points this out very clearly for like 3 verses, that it is by the desire of this personality, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will go throughout the whole length and breadth of the whole world, you know. So,
that first verse,
huh?
His first verse actually, what is the starting of the verse again?
The starting of what?
Prabhupada's, the verse he wrote,
yes,
on the Jaladuta, what is it?
Oh, about oh my dear brother Krishna.
If you do this,
Yes.
I will let you know Radharani.
Actually, Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained that What was Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj indicating in this song? That he, and ISKCON has translated it wrongly.
Yes.
Because ISKCON translating it as, "Oh brothers." But no, it's singular. "Oh brother."
Oh, brother.
And he's telling, like from the viewpoint, almost like a manjari, he's telling, "Oh brother."
To Krishna.
To Krishna.
Yeah.
That we know, and this is how Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained it, we know how and to what extent you are always trying to receive the favor of Vrishabhanu Nandini, Srimati Radhika. This is your life and soul. So I'm telling you very, very seriously, if you do this, Radharani Kushi Habe, Radharani will be pleased, she will be pleased with you. And then the rest of the song is following that line, because this is the refrain, the first shloka,
That's very interesting. That shows even Prabhupada's, Swarup.
Yes, it is showing. It is showing a little bit, it's revealing there. But Prabhupada kept everything very tightly concealed about manjaris and all of that in his books, in his lectures. Because why? Because, almost all the time, Prabhupada was sitting in front of very new people who had just come to the Krishna consciousness movement. Wherever he traveled, new, giving initiations to hundreds and thousands of devotees, all around the world. And so Prabhupada always had to focus on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita was the main topic that he would quote from. And then gradually, as the years went by, then Prabhupada would start to branch out into the Srimad Bhagavatam more and more, like that. But he always came back again and again to Bhagavad Gita, all through all the 12 years that he was traveling and preaching in the West. So
in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 4, Adi Lila.
Yeah, Adi Lila 4.
And then Madhya Lila 7.
8. Ramananda Roy.
Yeah. He just put everything there.
He did indeed. So we are understanding, but still they don't recognize and understand. But they will, because Gurudev has predicted, in the future they will all accept. Yeah. So all glories to the assembled devotees. Sya slava sabrafyam sya priyadanim. Yes. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripasindhaveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Bhakti Pragyan Srila Keshava Goswami. Bhakti Pragyan Srila Keshava Goswami. Bhakti Pragyan Srila Keshava Goswami. Bhakti Pragyan Srila Keshava. Param Guru Deva, Param Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Param Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Param Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Param Guru. Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Anitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Nitya Lila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtatara Sata Shri Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Acharya Keshari Ki Gaur Premanande.
Jai Padmanabh Maharaj ki jai, Pujapad Bhaktivedanta Sant Maharaj ki jai, Vedanta Saraswati ki jai,
Mahavir Prabhu Maharaj ki jai.
You're sannyasi godbrothers.
Yes.
You both took sannyas from the same sannyas guru. Yeah.
We don't have his teacher here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should we do tomorrow regarding timing and all of that?
After Tulsi Parikrama, after
In the evening also.
Yeah, we can do it earlier.
Yeah, we can try. Yeah.